my good pupils. Teacher Edward once again. Today I want us to address our health, a subtopic called types of foods required by our bodies. In other words, types of nutrients required by our bodies. So by the end of this, I want you to make sure that you can give me the nutrients that are needed or required by our bodies. And these nutrients are needed to keep us healthy. To start with, there are 3 words that I want us to define or to get their meaning, and after that we'll move on. The first word that I want us to look at is food. So food is our first word. This is a very common word in this topic, and I want us to know the meaning of the word food. So what is food? Yes? Good. So food is anything that is taken in our bodies through drinking or eating. So anything that you take through drinking or eating is known as food. And mostly we do that for our good health. So to provide us with nutrients. So anything that you take in the body through eating or drinking is known as food. So that is a good definition. So anything taken through eating or drinking is known as food. So that is our word number 1. Word number 2, nutrients. What is a nutrient, or what are nutrients? So nutrients are substances, and I like adding the word healthy substances, that are found in the food. So inside the food, when you are eating food, your body knows that there are some things inside that food, and that is what your body is interested with. So those things that are inside the food, those healthy substances that are inside that food, are the ones that we refer to as nutrients. They are the ones that make our bodies healthy. So nutrients are healthy substances that are found in the food, and they are needed by our bodies. Good. Our last word, we have nutrition. Yes, nutrition, from the word nutrients. So nutrition, it means that, or it is the process of, nutrition is the process of providing the body with the necessary nutrients for good health. So when you are providing your body with nutrients, we call that nutrition. So I hope you have understood the 3 words. That is food, then we have nutrients, then the last one is nutrition. So they are all related, and it is good to know their meaning. Those are possible questions when you come across exams. You can be asked to tell us what food is, what nutrients are, and what is nutrition. So make sure you write down the meaning of those 3 words. Good. So from here, I want us to look at the types of nutrients that are needed by our bodies. We have 3 main groups of nutrients, or food groups. We call them food groups. They are grouped into 3. So number 1, we have the energy-giving foods. The energy-giving foods. That is our first group of foods or nutrients, energy-giving nutrients or foods. So we get energy from them. They give us energy to work. You need energy to do everything that you do. And that energy comes from these energy-giving foods or nutrients. Anything that you do, walking, jumping, sitting, standing, writing, watching, everything that you do, you need some energy. And that energy comes from these energy-giving foods. And the 2 nutrients that give us energy are known as carbohydrates. One of them is carbohydrates. That is nutrient number 1. Then the other one is fats and oils. The fats and oils that we eat together with the carbohydrates, they are the ones that give energy to work. Good. So that is the first group. The second one, we have protective foods. Protective foods, from the word protect. They help us, or these foods help us to protect ourselves against diseases. They help to boost your immune system or your defense system. Every day you come across different types of germs, bacteria and other disease-causing agents, but you are protected by your immune system. And to make it strong, you need protective foods. You need protective foods, and the nutrients that help us in that are known as vitamins and mineral salts. So we have vitamins and mineral salts. We get them from protective foods. So we look at some of the sources later. But for now, know that the other group of food is known as protective foods, where we get nutrients like vitamins and mineral salts. Then the last group, we have bodybuilding foods. Bodybuilding foods. Bodybuilding foods. These are the ones that help us when growing and to repair our worn out tissues. If you want to grow healthy, you need enough bodybuilding foods. In other words, they help us to repair our worn out tissues. Every day, it is very possible for you to be injured. But after a while, those scars disappears. Those wounds are healed. It is the work of the bodybuilding foods. And from there we have a nutrient called proteins. Proteins helps in that. So bodybuilding foods, we have proteins. Proteins help in building and the growth of our bodies together with the repairing of the worn out tissues. So those are the three food groups that we have, the main food groups that we have. But from the three food groups, we have come across some nutrients. So when you count them, you realize that we have 5 nutrients. So those 5 nutrients are very important in our lives. So our nutrient number 1, which comes from the energy-giving foods, is known as carbohydrates. Our nutrient number 2 from the energy-giving foods is fats and oils. The 2, we have said that they provide our bodies with energy. Energy to work. Energy to do everything that you think. You are able to do it because you have energy. And that energy comes from these 2 nutrients. Then our nutrient number 3 is vitamins. Then number 4, mineral salts. The 2, we have said that they are protective foods. They protect ourselves against diseases. If you want to be healthy, make sure you eat enough of these vitamins and mineral salts. Then from there, we have the last one. We have proteins, number 5. And we have said that proteins is from the bodybuilding foods. Proteins help us in growth and also in repairing the worn out tissues. So from here, I want us to look at the sources of these nutrients and their importance. Every nutrient and its importance. To start with, I want us to look at sources of carbohydrates. Remember, we have said that carbohydrates are examples of energy-giving foods. So there are 2 main sources of carbohydrates. That is cereals. Anything from cereal or tubers will give you or will give me or will give us carbohydrates. Remember, we talked about types of crops. We talked about cash crops and food crops. We say that food crops are divided into 5. That is cereals, tubers, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. So you know examples of cereals. So cereals, anything from cereal will give you carbohydrates. Anything from tubers will also give you carbohydrates. So can you remind me some examples of cereals? Yes, good. So I have just written for you a few because we talked about it. We have many examples of cereals. One example is maize. We have wheat. We have rice. Good. Another one, yes, we have sorghum. We have millet and many others. We talked about that when we were talking about crops. So make sure you refer to your notes. Yes. So cereals will give you carbohydrates. But now mostly we don't eat them the way they are. For example, maize, we get some products from maize. Yes, some of the products of maize are things like, yes, we have ugali. Yes, that is a good example. Yes, we have ugali, like the one on your screen. Nikwambia hapa lazima umeze mate. Yes. Yes. Meza haraka tuendelee. Good. I told you that salvation will come. Yes. That is ugali. It is a product of maize. We have porridge. You can get porridge from, yes, that is porridge. I also heard of something kisra from the Sudanese brothers and sisters. Yes. If I'm not wrong, kisra is a product of maize. Yeah, kisra. Yes, it's also going to give us carbohydrates or energy. Yes, those are some of examples of products that we get from maize. We have popcorns. Yes, that is another one. When you eat popcorns, you get carbohydrates. Anything from maize. You also have another example of cereal like wheat. Yes, some of the products from wheat are things like biscuits. Yes, those are biscuits. We also have my favorite. Yes, those chapatis. Yes, chapatis. Good. Yes, those chapatis will give you carbohydrates. We have pancakes. Yes, we have cakes. And many other things that we get from wheat. We also have rice. Rice. Yes, rice will also give you carbohydrates. Yes. When you take porridge made of sorghum and millet, you also get carbohydrates. I also heard that some people cook ugali using sorghum and millet. Yes. They also get anything from cereals. All the cereals will give you carbohydrates. So whenever you are asked to give some sources of carbohydrates or energy giving foods, talk about these cereals and their products. Good. Then from there, the other group, or the other types of crops that gives us energy or carbohydrates are known as tubers. Yes, we talked about tubers. Yes, remind me some examples of tubers. Good. Yes, we have Irish potatoes. Hivi viazi mbatata, Irish potatoes. We have yams. And we also talked about things like cassava. Yes, arrowroots. Yes, sweet potatoes. And many other types of tubers. So all those tubers, yes, like the ones that I'm showing you, the sweet potatoes, when you boil them, roast them, yes, there are many ways of preparing them. When you take them or eat them, you get carbohydrates. These are Irish potatoes. Yes, can get chips. Yeah, kama hizi masara. Yes. Yes, we have crisps. All these are products of Irish potatoes. They give you carbohydrates. Good. Can also boil some arrowroots or even roast them. Yes. Yes, those are ndomas, arrowroots. They give you carbohydrates. Can also boil some yams, cassava, and all the other tubers. Whenever you eat them, you get yes, you get carbohydrates. Naona venye mnameza mate hapo nyinyi. Yeah. Yes. So from there we have others. We have some other sources of carbohydrates. Mostly these sugary things. Sugary things, things like honey. Things like honey. Yes. When you take honey, you get carbohydrates. Hata wakati tunaenda kuramba ile sukari ya mama. Yes, sugar itself. Yes. Sugar cane. Sugar cane is another source of carbohydrate. All those sugary things. We have glucose. Yes, glucose. And for your information, glucose is absorbed in the mouth. That's why you find it being used by athletes in competitions. They take it to regenerate their energy as quick as possible. So that's why you see them using glucose. We also have fats and oils. Fats and oils, they give us energy. And remember, we have two sources of fats. We have the animal source and the vegetable source. Some of the sources of animal fat are things like butter. Yes, we have butter. Yes, we have cheese. We have ghee. Yes, this is butter. Yes, ghee. Cheese. Yes, these are animal products. They give us energy. We also have some fats from plants, like the avocado. Yes, we have the groundnuts. So they also provide our bodies with energy. So those are some of the sources of carbohydrates. You can also refer to your textbooks for more examples of these sources of carbohydrates. So I know you have enjoyed. For today, we'll end up at that. So before I leave you, I want you to watch this video and make sure you look at it and listen to whatever is going on keenly. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Goodbye.
Energy-giving food. Energy-giving food gives us energy to do work. Energy-giving food is rich in carbohydrates and fats. Rice, wheat, potato, oil and butter are examples of energy-giving food. Rice, wheat and potatoes have carbohydrates. Oil and butter have fats.
Carbohydrates and fats supply our body with energy and keep us alive. Energy-giving food is rich in carbohydrates and fats. Sugar and all the cereals like rice, wheat flour, maize and barley are the main sources of carbohydrates. Butter, ghee and all the cooking oils are the main sources of fats.